can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go round? How can you mend this broken man? How can a loser ever win? Please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. I can still feel the breeze that rustles through the trees and misty memories of days gone by. We could never see tomorrow. No one said a word about the sorrow. How can you mend a broken heart? How can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go round? And how can you mend this broken man? How can a loser ever win? Please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. La 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 la. Please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. Da 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 da.
Anyone who ever held you would tell you the way I'm feeling. Anyone who ever wanted you try to tell you what I feel inside. The only thing I ever wanted was the feeling that you ain't faking. The only one you ever thought about. Wait a minute, can't you see that I wanna fall from the stars straight into your arms? I feel you, I hope you comprehend. For the man who tried to hurt you, he's explaining the way I'm feeling. For all the jealousy I caused you, the snake's the reason why I'm trying to hide. As for all the things you taught me, it sends my future into clearer dimensions. You driving me crazy. After all the pain you caused me, making up could never be your intention. You never know how much you hurt me. Stay, can't you see that I wanna fall from the stars straight into your arms? I feel you. I hope you comprehend. I wanna fall from the stars straight into your arms. I feel you. I hope you comprehend.
Skip the life and angle, turn cartwheels across the floor. I was feeling kinda seasick. The crowd called out for more. The room was humming harder as the ceiling flew away. When we call out for another drink, the waiter brought a tray, and so it was later as the miller told his tale. Another face at first just ghostly.
You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come, let me love you, let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you, let me always be with you. Come, let me love you, come love me Let me give my life like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again.
Meg, they say it's a beautiful journey from the old world to the new. Someday we will all take that journey up the stairway that leads to you. And when we reach that garden where all are free from pain, we'll put our arms around you and we'll never part again. For God looked around his garden and found an empty space. Then he looked down upon the earth and found a lady full of grace. A golden heart stopped beating, 2 hands were laid to rest. The garden must be beautiful because he only takes the best. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we've come together to celebrate the life of a lovely, gracious lady who has been lost to us. I ask that you feel free to be at one with your sorrow, your sadness, and your memories. But I also ask you to feel the gladness, the happiness, the purpose, and the serenity of a life so well lived. Margaret Jamieson, Meg, as she was known to you all, was a loving wife and mother, a lady who didn't say a lot, but when she did, her words were golden. On behalf of her loving family, Nicole and Rob, Murray and Melissa and Matthew and Helen and their families, I welcome you and thank you for being here with them this morning to say goodbye to Meg in a loving and meaningful way. I also welcome all those who are viewing online as they were unable to join us this morning in the chapel, especially her sister Janet in England and her best friend Carol in New South Wales. At the conclusion of the service, the family would love you to stay and enjoy light refreshments while you chat and recollect those special times that you spent with Meg. Her passing has left a deep sadness in our lives. This time we spend together today is to remember Meg and to allow our sorrow and sadness to surface and be expressed in words, in tears, in reflection, and in whatever way is meaningful to us. Although she would not relish being the centre of attention, it is important to remember her and to say goodbye. A down-to-earth, no fuss, no tears sort of woman, Meg's death unites us all, and it is inevitable that there is sadness and tears. But always remember, the most beautiful tear does not fall in sorrow, it falls in remembrance. It slips down your cheek in a quiet moment when laughter echoes from the past, when dreams once held close still stir gently in your heart, and when the memory of a voice or a smile brings both warmth and ache. It is a tear born not of pain, but of love so deep that it refuses to fade. It speaks of what once was, of what still lingers, and of a longing that only exists because something or someone mattered so very much. You, her family, meant the world to her. A tireless worker, caring and kind, she would do anything for you, tend to your every need and more. She willingly bestowed her gifts and talents upon you, enabling you to always face the future with courage and with strength. Meg's eulogy has been lovingly crafted by her brother Glenn and her sons Murray and Matthew, and I now invite Matthew to come forward to share it with us. Thank you, Matthew.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today to honour and remember the life of my beautiful mum, Margaret Jamieson, though most of you would know her as Meg. Mum was born on the 1st of November 1946 in Prospect, Adelaide, South Australia, while Mum's father was in Rabaul, Papua New Guinea, where he had gained a job helping to re-establish communication links with Australia, communication links back to Australia after the war, with the post-telecom service. It wasn't until Mum was almost 9 months old that her and her mother reunited with her dad in Rabaul. Mum's brother Glenn was born 2 years after, followed by Ian, and then a few years later, Janet, Mum's sister, came along. Life in Rabaul was both unique and challenging, with limited power, no hospitals, no telephone, and a typical place of its time, recovering from the damages of war while dealing with frequent earthquakes and lingering murmurs of a threat of a volcanic eruption. Still, the family enjoyed spending time together with access to beautiful tropical landscapes and experiences, but with limited education options available locally. After year 6, Mum was sent to boarding school at St Hilda's at Southport at just 11 years old, a daunting experience for someone so young. She missed home terribly. But in true Meg style, she found strength, made friends, and made the most of what was in front of her. She threw herself into academic school life while also participating in all manner of sports, swimming, tennis, diving, and even playing rugby league, a clear sign of her determination and courage from a young age. As the long trip back to Rabaul was expensive and not something easily achieved in the day, Mum was only home for the longer Christmas holidays, so time with family was precious and treasured. The other school breaks were often spent with friends on local farms or horse riding in the Numbar Valley and a trip to Adelaide. These moments of freedom and connection with nature stayed with her throughout her life. After finishing her school, Mum moved to Sydney to begin her nursing training. It was there where she met her lifelong friends, the Carrolls, and friendship that stood the test of time and distance, lasting to this very day. So quickly realised during her training, her true calling was midwifery. In March 1969, Mum married my dad, Paul, in Ashfield, and a short courting period, and together they built a beautiful life. After the newlywed period, they waited 3 years to start a family. Nicole, my sister, was born in June 1972, moving from Windsor to Redcliffe in Queensland to be closer to family. Only a short time later, in October 1973, Murray was born, and a larger gap followed, with me joining the scene in May 1978. During that time, they set out to fulfill one of their biggest dreams, owning a small farm. Purchasing a large parcel of land in Jimboomba, they built a home from scratch, raised animals, created a sanctuary where Mum always said she was at her happiest surrounded by family, nature, and the simple joys in life. As Mum and Dad saw each of us graduate, make career decisions, and start our own stories, Mum and Dad sought to start their new chapter to live in Tasmania. They found the perfect block with a spectacular view looking over Bass Strait. They went on to design and build their beautiful home. True to form, Mum set out turning it into a home planting flowers, bulbs and shrubs, landscaping it until it looked beautiful. Gardening brought Mum peace and pride. She poured love into every corner. Mum and Dad had an incredible knack for coaching life from the soil, and their vegetable garden was a testament to this. Beans climbing up handmade wire frames, tomatoes ripening in the sun, and silver beet that seemed to multiply overnight. She believed that tending earth was so much about nurturing the soul as it was about feeding the family. Harvest time was always a simple celebration, and Mum was happiest with a basket brimming with fresh pickled produce. She taught us to appreciate the slow rewards, patience, the rhythm of planting and gathering, and the joys of sharing the bounty to neighbours, friends, and passing strangers. Visitors never left the house empty-handed. Mum was known for her quiet strengths. She didn't always say a lot, but when she spoke, we listened. Her words carried weight, kindness and wisdom. She was the rock of our family, hard-working, selfless and fiercely loyal. She always put her needs aside, make sure her family had what they needed. She never asked for much, but gave everything she could. Professionally, Mum was an exceptional midwife. After beginning her nursing career in Sydney and other assorted hospitals, Mum moved onto Redcliffe and Chermside hospitals, but most notably, Mum went on to deliver well over 650 babies during her 20-year stint in a small country hospital in Burdesert, Queensland. She worked night shift, often supporting multiple women in labour, at once calm, capable, completely dedicated. Her peers respected her deeply, not just for her skills, but for her heart. She always put mothers and babies first. Outside of work, she had many roles: wife, mother, grandmother to 10, great-grandmother to 2, and another on the way, and friends to many. She also had a few quiet passions: budgeting, saving money, and making the most of what she had. Her magazines and puzzles to keep her sharp. She was generous, thoughtful, and took joy in giving, and at one point was knitting babies and children's beanies to be sent overseas to communities in need. Christmas was a time which she loved, knowing she would have family around to spoil and watch over her. Mum taught me the values of hard work and honesty and of family. She showed me what it means to show up, not just on the easy moments, but in the hard ones too. She was steady, dependable, and full of quiet grace. Today, as we say goodbye, we honour the lives lived with love, courage, and purpose. Mum may not have sought the spotlight, but her impacts run deep in the lives she helped bring into the world, in the family she raised, and in the hearts of everyone who knew her. We will miss her more than words can truly express, but we are also grateful for her years we had with her, the memories we'll carry, and the legacy of love she leaves behind. Thank you, Mum, and we love you always.
Thank you, Matthew. What a fabulous story, and what a wonderful woman that Meg was, so strong. There are several tributes this morning, and the first is from her sister, Auntie Jenny, and Glenn, if you would like to come forward.
Yeah, I'm Glenn's wife, Jenny. Meg, Janet, your sister, and her family are sending lots of love all the way from England and Wales. Janet is up at 1 a.m. watching the service, so we all had better get this send-off for you, Meg, done properly. the whole family, that is my family from Rabaul. My parents, my brother David, my sister Judith have known Meg for many, many years, as we all lived in Rabaul as children. Meg, when you married Paul, Glenn introduced me, and I thought, oh my God, who is this? I just wanted to say a couple of things about Paul. He is big-hearted Paul. He greeted me with an amazing loud voice of "Want a cup of Jenny?" and then a big bear hug. You both made Glenn and I very welcome when we moved to Tassie. Our last visit with you both at Boat Harbour on the 20th of August last year, when we moved to Queensland, was a typical afternoon. Coffee, Tin Tams, and yes, Meg, Paul chatting very loud over us all. We loved your Christmas, Boxing Day and Aussie Day get-togethers, giving lots of love to Nikki, Murray, Matthew and families from the other Rabaul family, the Hulls. Glenn and I, Susanna and Andrew and Christy, will miss you both. Get yours now. That's it.
Right, this is a bit like a relay, isn't it? Just for the people who don't know, I'm Glenn, Margaret's brother. I'm now the patriarch of the family, I realise today. When we were children in Rabaul PNG, an event that I cannot remember but is family folklore. I think a few people know where I'm going. When I was about 12 months old and Margaret was 3, she painted me olive green. I think it was ex-military paint left over. How she got it, I have no idea. She painted me top to bottom, except for my nappy. The paint was lead-based paint of the time. Needless to say, this caused a commotion. How they cleaned it off, I have no idea. Fortunately, there are, I don't think, any ill effects. My sister Janet relates, when she was a 4-year-old, when she was a 4-year-old baby, Margaret was babysitting her while our parents were at the movies. It was a thing you did in those days, you went to the movies. I don't know where I was, probably at the movies. Margaret had just turned 16 and had organised a party at our home without her parents' knowledge. It was a loud party with the popular music and dances of the time, the stomp. So the house was rocking. Janet, the baby, who was being babysitted, was sitting in the hallway listening to, experiencing the dance and the music. The house was shaking. Dad was not impressed when he and Mum came home in the middle of this. I'll jump over a heap. Time went by, and 13 years ago we came to Tassie. Margaret, Jenny and I spent a lot of time with you and Paul. We valued our many visits at your place and ours. For 20 years, over 20 years, you had a battle with your illness. It was a gradual wasting disease that diminished you. You kept your spirit all through this and showed us how tough and determined you were. We are saddened, but also relieved that you will not have to endure this anymore. We all miss you. There is a hole in our life now. Sleep well, Meg. You're in a good place now. Your journey's over. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny and Glenn. I had the privilege of reading entries that had been put on the Facebook site about Meg, and I have compiled some of those comments made by her past work comments. that describe her as a wonderful warrior woman. One lady wrote, "She scared me a bit at first, but she was golden." Several mentioned that Meg was a delight to work with. A wonderful no-nonsense midwife who was great to talk to. Several said that they had many happy memories of working with her. They cherished that wonderful grin. One lady said, "I remember her laughing a lot and being a bit mischievous." But overall, they all really said she was truly a good person. I also have the honour of reading a tribute that has been written by her great friend of 61 years, Carol. Carol has written, "Meg and me. 3 17-year-old girls met in April 1964 on the first day of our nursing life. Meg and the 2 Carols. Meg from Rabaul, Carol, the other Carol, from Katoomba in the mountains in New South Wales, and me from the bush in central western New South Wales. We were overcome by the big city of Sydney, but soon found our feet, and what a life we had. 4 years of nursing training, 2 years living on site at the Royal Alexandra Hospital for Children, and 2 years living off-site in a little house in the suburb of Camperdown, not far from the hospital. It was party central, and you never knew who would be there when you got home from work. Then out into the big wild world, but we always stayed in touch and knew where each of us was. The members of our little group, Carol Collis, has lived close by to Meg for years and has visited her every week while she has been in the nursing home. Thank you for this and keeping me updated. Meg looked forward to your visits. You have been a true friend. As well as visiting each other as often as we could, sometimes years apart, we would pick up where we left off and have the best time catching up. Meg and I had 2 trips overseas, Norfolk Island for our 50th birthday, and 8 or 9 weeks in Europe, England and Turkey. She told me what countries she wanted to see, so I organised it. But she hadn't told Paul. That was my job. Thank goodness he was okay with it. We had a great time, but her legs were starting to go, so we sat outside in all the places we went, and we watched the world go by. We caught up with her sister and other relatives in England, which she enjoyed. We spent a lot of time visiting each other in Queensland, New South Wales and Tasmania. And my children have great memories of Auntie Meg. There is now a little hole in my heart, but I will remember you every day. I will miss you, my friend of 61 years. Love always, Carol. There are beautiful words in a poem called Turn Again to Life by Mary Lee Hall, and this morning granddaughter Brielle is going to present that to us. Thank you, Brielle.
Turn Again to Life by Mary Lee Hall. If I should die and leave you here a while, be not like others saw undone, who keep loving vigil by the silent dust. For my sake, turn again to life and smile, nerving thy heart and trembling hand to do something to comfort other hearts than thine. complete these dear unfinished tasks of mine, and I perchance may therein comfort you.
Thank you, Brielle. They really are beautiful words and really sound advice. Both sons, Murray and Matthew, are going to present their tributes to, if you would come forward.
Thank you all for being here. It's quite nice to see so many wanting to pay respects and some good friends out there. So mine's it's short and simple, but from the heart as always. Mum. The short, seemingly insignificant word is so much more than 3 letters. So what was my mum to me? To a blind world, sight of the inner gold. To the scared and unsure, an open ear. In a chaotic world, a calm and voice of wisdom. To the haze of confusion, clarity. With her warm embrace, protection. Although situation moulded a stoic and stubborn, there endured the inner warmth and a supportive, giving nature, never letting the situation get in the way of seeing the best in her children, nurturing her potential and promise. Even with night shift and farm to contend with, time was always found to listen when we were scared or unsure. Whether about career, finance, love, and as the all-knowing medical oracle, the all too often strange medical questions. Time was given. When life brought chaos and confusion, her calm voice of wisdom and clarity that cut through the haze, exhorting with experience and loving kindness, Mum was assuredly glue binding us together in sometimes turbulent times. To a scared child cowering in a hiding place, only to be discovered and comforted. Or to one full of youthful stupidity, foolishly wielding a sharp cane knife that I was told not to use, and then tending to the inevitable wounds from the supplies of the always well-stocked medicine chest. Although now gone, her insight, open ear, calm voice of wisdom, clarity and her protective embrace has left an everlasting mould that will remain. That was my mum. Thank you.
I'm going to make my tribute just a little bit more lighthearted, so we can pick up the spirit a little bit, make people a little bit more happier. Because they're my best memories of Mum. The lighthearted moments you have. She was our rock. She was always there for us. And as I stated in the eulogy, she always put her children and family first before herself. Self-sacrifice. Now, what was life growing up with Mum? Well, my earliest memories was when I was really young and I used to be scared of the dark. I'd wake up in the middle of the night. When we first moved to Jimboomba, we had no curtains in the house because the house was freshly built. I'd wake up, I'd see the shadows on the wall with all the trees, and I'd be terrified. I'd scream out in the middle of the night. Mum would trudge up out of bed, walk into my bedroom, lay down next to me, comfort me back to sleep. She lost sleep. And then when I became a teenager, I'd come home in my car at 1 o'clock in the morning, and Mum would be sitting on the front veranda waiting for me to come home, still losing sleep. That's the sort of person she was. Mum was also an exceptional cook, I'm not talking about MasterChef stuff where you have all these fancy little meals out there in little pallets. She could put together a meal just out of anything, And we knew straight away, if Mum announced it was pizza night, we knew that shopping was the next day, because all the leftovers in the fridge went on the pizzas in the oven, and we thought, Mum's shopping tomorrow, we're having pizza. Murray made a short mention to Mum's medicine chest. Now that medicine chest would make a convict first aider proud, the amount of stuff in that sort of thing. And that was useful one day, and this is the sort of person she was. If we injured ourselves, we didn't race off to the hospital. We didn't go and see a doctor. Mum treated us. I was only about 5 or 6, and the young girl up the road brought her little motorbike up, little PV50, and I hopped on it with Murray, and I drove her straight into a barbed wire fence. Cut me jugular, cut me throat quite badly. I got up, dusted myself off, and Murray looked at me and goes, "You better go and see Mum." And he was tangling the bike out of the fence, and I looked down, and I had my school uniform on, and there was blood soaked all the way down to here. It was just pouring out of my throat. And I went straight up. Mum looked at me and went, "I'll get the medicine chest." She grabs out the medicine chest, puts me in a bath, puts some stereo strips on, and she could say, "I can see your jugular there pumping away." So it was really quite deep on the side of my neck. But I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't get stitches. She just put some stereo strips on there, sutured me up in that regard, and off I went. As I said, we didn't go to the doctors back then. Everything was treated at home. Something else that happened, which was quite funny, and this happened a bit later in life when I met Helen. Helen and I had been out for the day, and we come back home. We drove up the driveway, walked into the house, and I said to Helen, "Where's Mum? I haven't seen her. She must be outside in the paddock." Anyway, so we walked inside the house. Helen and I went into the bedroom. We're laying on the bed, and I'm laying there nice and quiet, and I hear this, "Matt, Matt." And Helen goes, "Is that your mum yelling out?" And I said, "I think so." So we walked out the front veranda, and we could hear Mum. She's down the cow bales. So we wander on down the cow bales, and just as I walk in, there's Mum in the cow bales with this 6-foot brown snake pinned to the tail by a shovel, stretched out like this. And I said to her, "What the bloody hell are you doing?" And she had it pinned by the tail, and it's there trying to strike her. And I said, "How long have you been here for?" She goes, "Oh, a bit over an hour." So I said, "Where's the other shovel?" So I had to get another shovel, and I dealt with the snake, and then it was all over with. But that's the sort of thing. Getting back to that, when she saw a problem, she just dealt with it. She didn't go and ask for assistance. She didn't go and ask for help. She saw the snake in the cow bale and thought, "It's in an area it shouldn't be. I'm just going to deal with it." Luckily, she was lucky that day. It didn't get her, because it could have. But the shovel handle was longer than the snake's was in length, so that was a good thing. Oh, excuse me, I'll just catch my thoughts again. Also, having a mother as a midwife and 4 children, as I have and Helen and I have, was very, very handy. Because whenever we had any questions around pregnancy, around young children, anything like that, it would come in handy. Now, when Helen fell pregnant with our first child, Olivia, and Mum and Dad obviously came up from Tasmania to help us out because it was our first, and was there for the whole box and dice, okay? So Helen was starting to labour at home in the early things of labour, and I thought to myself, in my wisdom, well, Mum's a midwife, this is going to come in handy. Now, the hospital was about 35-40 minutes away from our house, and being a new father, not really knowing what to expect and how, should I rush in there, should I not rush in there, I was asking Mum, throwing a few questions back. Mum goes, no, it's all right, just relax, I'll sort of keep an eye on it. So as we started progressing in labour, I suggested to Helen, I said, "Hey, Mum's a midwife. To save a trip into the hospital, perhaps she could give you an internal examination and see how dilated you are." And the look Helen gave me back then. She goes, "There's some places a mother-in-law can go, but it's not there." So I just backed back and went, "Okay, no worries." I take the point. So with that in closing, everything Mum had done in her life came from love and concern, keeping note of our doctor's appointments, which she always used to do. You'd speak to Mum on the telephone or on Skype, like even though we only lived 30 minutes away, in Tasmania, I pretty much used to Skype them every second or third night, you know, be on the phone with them, talking to them. And if I mentioned to Mum there's a doctor's appointment, she would go, "Oh, what day is it? What time is it?" It's not because she's being intrusive, it's so that when that time passed, she could ask me, "How did I go at the doctor's appointment? Is everything good?" You know, and coach me through it. So, not everyone has a mother. As I said with my father, everyone has a mother, and a lot of people have a good mother, and I was fortunate to have a really good mum. So she's going to be missed, and we love her. Thank you.
Thank you, Murray and Matthew. Beautiful tributes. And our final tribute this morning, Nicole is going to place flowers that she has picked from Meg's garden this morning. So Nicole, please come forward and do that. They are certainly beautiful, and she must have had the most amazing garden. Photographs are a beautiful way to depict aspects of someone's life. The family have collated special memories to share with you and have chosen a beautiful song called Mother by Michael Bublé to accompany these.
Took some time, you never needed praise. You would work your hands to the bone. You would work your hands to the bone. You always made the time, you got me on my way. You would work your hands to the bone, just to turn our house to a home. A different kind of hero, with a different kind of strength. Another word for savior, and another word for saint. Mother, a fighter and a lover, always there by my side no matter what I'm going through. And there's no other place where we take cover. And I know everybody's saying they got the best one, but that ain't true, 'cause I do. I know I made it tough, I know I caused you pain. You loved me like the angel I'm not, but you still held me down like a rock. There's nothing I could do, there's nothing I could say. Words can float away through the years, so I wrote them down for you here. The person that I turn to, and the person that I trust. Voice inside my head when I think I'm giving up. Mother, a fighter and a lover, everything I'll ever have in my hand is because of you. There's no other place where we take cover. And I know everybody's saying they got the best one, but that ain't true, 'cause I do. No matter where I go, or where I'm side no matter what I'm going through. There's no other place where we take cover. And I know everybody's saying they got the best one, but that ain't true. I know everybody's saying they got the best one, but that ain't true. 'Cause I do. I do.
What a beautiful lyric within that song, a different kind of hero with a different kind of strength. Another word for saviour and another word for saint. I thought that was really fitting. Such beautiful characteristics of a wonderful woman, beautiful inside and out. Wonderful memories that you have. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please bow your head and join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I wonder what Meg would say to you if she were with us right now. Maybe this. I know that you are struggling now that I am not around, feeling my absence deeply. But know this truth: I am everywhere you go. I am the voice you feel without a sound, a quiet resonance in your heart. I am every step you walk, a silent companion on your journey. I am every shining light you encounter, a beacon of hope and remembrance. Meet me in a memory. Relive those cherished moments. I am there both day and night, watching over you. I am the feather at your feet, a gentle reminder of my presence. I am the wind that softly blows in your hair, a tender touch from beyond. I am the whispers you feel, a silent kiss of affection. I am always there. I am the robin perched in the tree, a messenger of peace. I am tomorrow's butterfly, embodying transformation and new beginning. But one thing I will always be, unfailingly, is your angel in the sky, watching over you always. My love remains, a testament to love and loss that transcends all boundaries. When we lose someone, life goes on. So it's important to think about the things that you are glad about, and there have been plenty, as these are the things that will keep you going and in time help you to smile again. Meg left this world on Saturday, the 2nd of August. She was ready. She knew she would be reunited with her beloved husband, Paul, and the many family and friends that had gone before her. Her family sincerely thanked the beautiful staff of Freedom Home Care who looked after Meg before she went into residential care, and the staff of Umina Park. They were simply amazing, and the family thanked them also for their wonderful care and kindness that they bestowed on Meg during her time there. We know that Meg's spirit and her living made a difference and will continue to do so as long as each of you remember her in your hearts and carry the lessons of her life with you. You now are the representatives and the ambassadors of her legacy. She gave you the wonderful gifts of kindness, graciousness, strength, acceptance, and love. She showed you how to live with a strong and positive heart and how to be thankful for everything you had. Cherish that always. Pope Francis once said, "Rivers do not drink their own water, trees do not eat their own fruit, the sun does not shine on itself, and flowers do not spread their fragrance for themselves. Living for others is a rule of nature. We are all born to help each other, no matter how difficult it is. Life is good when you are happy, but much better when others are happy because of you." And from all we've heard this morning, I cannot help but think that Meg definitely fits in to the Pope's words. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to lay this wonderful woman to rest. Would you all please stand? Meg, go forth from this world knowing that you are loved beyond measure, that you will be missed more than words can say, that you will be remembered and cherished, and that love will never end. We will hold you close within us, and there you will remain, to be with us throughout our lives until we meet again. And as we now hold your memory in our hearts and send you on your final journey, may you forever rest in peace with the certain knowledge that our love goes with you. And so it is with love and gratitude that we now commit all these fond memories to be locked away in our hearts as we gently yield your body to be cremated. We celebrate you, we honour you, but most of all we pay tribute to that consistent love and support that you always shared so willingly with your family, your colleagues, and your friends. You are so dearly loved. You are in our hearts and our minds, and we will carry you with us as we move forward with our lives. Everything you have done is still done. Everyone you loved is still loved. Everything we learnt from you is still learnt. And so we will let you pass from this world for which you did so much and for which you continue to do. Because when we walk this earth, we walk it with you. You leave us with the strength and pride to do what is good and right. And your memory will guide us just as you did when you were at our side. For this we say thank you and goodbye. So now in sorrow but without fear, we commit the body of Margaret Jamieson, Meg, to the elements and ultimately to Mother Earth, from which all life comes and to which in the end all life returns. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Grateful for the life that has been lived and for all that life meant to us, may we resolve that while we live, we will strive with all our might to make our living of real worth. May you all find riches and example in your memories of Meg. May you find strength and support in your love for one another. And may you find peace in your hearts. Meg, thank you for all that you were and all that you gave. love and light to you on this your final journey. Go safely, go with love in your heart, and may you forever be at peace.
Okay, this one's for Gabby.
Passing by, I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me. Way up high, and the dreams that you dare to